agenda, looks like meeting minutes of August 20th, 2025. Everybody have a chance to review those?
Yeah, it looked worked over, but I don't really have a say here. I'm just,
Wait, you're stepping in.
I'm stepping in, but I just can't act in this capacity.
I mean, you do have a vote.
Yeah.
Oh, I do?
Oh, yeah.
Hubbardston, yeah.
Oh?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
When you're stepping in, you are.
Oh, okay.
Anybody have any
Look at me.
questions?
Oh, no, sorry. I was going to say, I looked at the minutes and they looked good to me. I know, Cam.
Anybody else? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of August 20th, 2025.
So
Second.
moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Aye. I mean, I'm not aye, but I pass for the minutes. I'll say.
For the record, I'm abstaining because I wasn't here.
Okay. Minutes still are passed. Next on the agenda is a banking resolution. This resolution authorizes the Central Massachusetts Regional 911 District to open one or more official bank accounts at a financial institution approved by the board. It establishes authority signatures as designated as our chair, Nathan Bordeaux, treasurer Nicholas George, and district director Michael Moriarty, and sets dual signature requirements for transactions over 5,000. This resolution also authorized the treasurer to set up electronic banking and director to execute all required documents. Mike, you want to take us through this resolution and maybe do some little explanation on this?
Give me 1 second here. Here. I think you pretty much summed it up. It's to establish official banking accounts for the district to get us moving forward. As you see, Nicholas George is on there as the treasurer for currently right now, where later on in the agenda, we'll have the IMA between the district and the town of Rutland to maintain all financial aspects until July 1 of 2026. So that's why his name is on there. That will be switched whenever the board here decides to pick which route they're going to go, whether or not keep an IMA with a current town or hire our own treasurer for the district. So that will change. Ultimately, this just gets the ball moving to set the district up on its own. So this is one of the first steps to move forward.
So Mike, my question to you is that if we are going to transition, once we transition to July 1, and whether or not the board decides to pick its own treasurer or enter into an agreement with Rutland or another town for that matter, do we still have the ability to appoint somebody for other than I mean, does this lock us in to these accounts now, or should we be changing the accounts? Will we have to change the accounts again in July 1?
From my understanding, we shouldn't have to change them moving in July 1. That should be the foundation of the district moving forward.
Okay, where are the accounts now?
Right now, we're under the town of Rutland.
Okay, they don't want to stay until July 1?
Right, they want us to transfer off of that in the
Now?
district. Well, by July 1, they want us off the town of Rutland's
Okay,
books.
so this wouldn't go into effect until July 1?
Ultimately, we were trying to establish these now. Whether or not we use the accounts now is another decision that has to be made. If we're going to transition fully off prior to July 1, we can, but this is needed to get other aspects of the district formed. This is the first step. The treasury bond, all that needs to be started first before we can start doing, as I have it here somewhere, the checklist that we have. There's like 9 different phases that we have to go through. This is one of the first couple phases that pretty much starts the ball rolling down the line and gets other parts of the district set up. But this is what we need first. So whether or not we use this now is going to be up to you guys ultimately.
Well, I just wasn't sure if it made more sense to do that when there's a transition on July 1, or do we need to do it now?
I would strongly suggest do it now because it's going to take time to file this with the Department of Revenue and other agencies as well that we have to file under. All this has to all be filed under there, and that's going to take time for them to accept those. So if we're planning to go live on July 1, we don't want to send this in a week before because it's not going to get approved by the Department of Revenue and the other agencies in a week or so.
Right, okay, because I'm sure that there could be some changes here. I mean, the treasurer may not
Correct.
stay, treasurer, or, there may be some things. So will it be easy for us to maneuver?
Yes, so we will be able to move those names around
Okay.
if need be.
Okay.
We'll just have to refile that with the Department of Revenue and the other agencies that are listed on that explanation that I sent out. We do have a couple questions.
Okay.
Maribel, you want to go first?
Sure. I know Melanie was up first. So I didn't know if she wanted to go. I don't want to bypass
I
anyone.
didn't see. Yeah, I didn't see who popped up first. So.
Okay. So my quick question is, I understand the reasoning for the banking resolution. My question is more so on the treasurer aspect. Nicholas George is currently Rutland's treasurer. Is that correct?
Correct.
And so with that being said, is this something that it will be Nicholas George moving forward for the district? Is this something that was decided? So I guess that middle piece is where I'm questioning.
Yeah, so no, so it's Nicholas George right now because he's the one that currently is the treasurer for the district without the IMA being in place right now. That's what we're going to talk about later with the IMA between the town of Rutland and the district to keep those financial aspects, which the board voted on a few meetings, I think one of the beginning meetings that we would keep the financial aspects under the town of Rutland until July 1, where the district would have to figure out what they're going to do on their own. So he's on there because he is the treasurer. And if we were to do anything right now, if we were to start moving stuff over and had to do stuff, Nicholas is going to be the one to do that. But again, it doesn't lock him in. We can always switch that out once the district decides who that permanent treasurer is going to be starting July 1.
Yeah, no, that totally makes sense. I just didn't know if I had missed a discussion on how to proceed moving forward, whether it would still be Nick, and I understand why it would be Nick at the moment. I do have concerns moving forward when that time comes, the treasurer being one of the current member towns of the district's treasurer as well. I think that's something that would need to be really dissected and looked into, just because I feel like there would be a fine line between a town that's in the district that has a member on the sitting board and then being that town's treasurer as well. I find that to be, concerning. That could cause some conflict, whether it's there has to be a line of separation, and I think that could easily be merged and crossed over easily. So I definitely something that I would like to put on the radar and on the record that I'm not saying that I'm completely opposed to it, but I do have some reservations towards it.
Yep. Noted. Go ahead.
And that would be a further discussion we'll have in the future, right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, the board is going to have to discuss that and decide on what they're going to want to do. But this was the temporary solution until July 1.
Okay.
So I just want to say that I support this 100%. I was a treasurer as well, so I understand how all of this works. I have no reservations with a town treasurer being a treasurer. I would actually prefer it because there's more checks and balances. There's more auditing going on. To me, it's a lot more upfront then I don't know what, like Mary Bell said, it would have to be a discussion because I wouldn't want to hire just somebody to be a treasurer for the district. So that's all.
Perfect.
Thank you, Melanie. Any other comments or questions or concerns? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to adopt the banking resolution dated November 4th, authorizing the establishment of the district bank accounts and designating the chair, treasurer, and director as authorized signatories as presented.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Motion carries. Any opposed? No.
Through the chair, just real quick. After the meeting, I will send out a few documents. So with that banking resolution, I will need every member of the board to sign this form to be submitted to the Department of Revenue. So just a heads up.
Okay.
Next up on the agenda is a treasurer bond authorization. State law in our district agreement requires the treasurer to be bonded to protect the district in the public's interest. I think this is pretty self-explanatory, but
Yeah.
Mike, you want to go through this?
Yeah, so like you said, pretty self-explanatory, but it's legal compliance with Mass General Law requiring bonding for all public treasurers or officials responsible for handling funds. It does have the financial protections if the treasurer commits an error or omission or dishonest act that results in financial loss. The surety company reimburses the district. The treasurer is then obligated to repay the surety. Public trust, bonding ensures transparency and accountability in management of the taxpayer and grant funds. That's ultimately the overview of that.
Mike, where are you going to hear the bond from? Do you know?
I have not decided yet on who. That's something that I'm going to ask the board to help guide me with moving forward on who we. Again, this is new to me with the whole treasury bond, so I'm going to be looking for you guys to help assist and guide me in the right direction on who we should be looking at, or who, if you guys have a preference of who to utilize at that point.
Yeah, and then we have, usually there's a cost for these bonds. Do we have the funds to pay for that?
That would have to be a reassessment out to the community. So that has not been figured in. We could figure that into, are we in FY27 now? Going into FY27's budget, we could put it into FY27's budget.
Yeah, I mean, usually these things are maybe $1,000, $2,000.
Yeah. If we were to move right now, I do have some wiggle room in the current budget that I could pay for that.
Okay.
If it's around that cost.
Okay.
I'm not sure what the cost is.
I mean, I'm just going off of what the cost is of my treasurer.
Yeah.
And it's usually maybe $1,000.
Yes. So yeah, I definitely, even if it was up to 5, I think I have some wiggle room to pay for that.
Yeah. Okay. Maya may have some vehicles that you may want to look at in terms of how they, handle their bonding. I think that's our bonds from some of the surety companies that Maya had recommended. They may have some recommendations. They don't issue them directly, but they have companies that deal with that.
Okay.
So, I think that, it's important to have, and so the only person that would be bonded would be Nicholas George.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do we know the amount of the bond that you're looking to get, or is there a recommendation from the DOR? Or?
Not yet.
Okay.
So ultimately, I need all this document first to go to the Department of Revenue to figure out what that is.
Yeah.
This is what it said to complete first, is grab these 2 documents, get these 2 approved, and then see them and work through that process.
Okay.
And Melanie does have a question.
Michael, I would just suggest contacting Nick, asking who bonds him now, because he currently has a bond. and just contacting that company. Most of them go through Travelers, but you have to go through the insurance company prior to them. So just reach out to Nick and he can probably help guide you on that. And as far as the amount, the DOR has a formula for that, so you'll find out once you get this done, or as you're
Perfect.
getting this done. So just
Yeah.
contact somebody at DOR.
Perfect. Thank you.
Any other comments, questions, concerns? Seeing none, I'd like to entertain a motion to authorize the issuance of a treasury bond for Treasurer Nicholas George in the amount consistent with municipal bonding requirements, and to authorize the chair and the district director to execute all documents necessary to obtain said bond. So moved.
So moved.
All those in favor? Aye.
Bye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. Next is operating bylaws. Bylaws outlined our structure, officer duties, meeting requirements, quorum rules, fiscal and administrative procedures, compliance obligations under Massachusetts law. They establish clear governance protocols as we move forward in fully operating the district. Mike, you want to take us through this?
Yeah, so these bylaws just serve as the internal governing rules that guide the work of the board of directors, the operations committee, as well as the finance subcommittee. They're going to clearly define officer responsibilities, the meeting requirements, quorum rules, fiscal procedures, records management, and compliance with all Massachusetts open meeting law and public records law. Adopting these ensures transparency, consistency, and accountability, and aligns district governance with the best practices in public administration, and formalizes procedures for decision-making, fiscal controls, and public engagement. These bylaws supplement the district agreement and Massachusetts general law and help ensure smooth operations as the district grows and assumes independent functions. But not supersede the district agreement and state law, and formalize governance, meeting requirements, quorum rules, and fiscal controls and ethical standards. This is just best practices for a regional dispatch district that is looking to continue to grow and get more complex in the future. So these will just help us move forward in the future with small things that are not clearly defined in the district agreement right now.
And I apologize if I I didn't have it I didn't see it in my packet, but do you have a copy of the bylaws?
Yeah, those should have been, I think that was part of the,
I didn't see it in my packet, I'm sorry.
yeah, no, so if you clicked on the operating bylaws in that document, it should have brought you to that piece. They're not currently in here right now. I think I can bring them up for everybody.
I didn't have a chance to review them.
Gotcha. 1 second.
Was it a link or something?
Yeah, so all the supporting documentation, so in the board's agenda packet, every title that was highlighted in blue has a link embedded into it.
Oh,
Goes to
okay.
the supporting
I didn't realize that.
documentation. Yeah.
I
So-
didn't see them either.
I didn't either, Mike, even when you click on the link.
Yeah, the
Oh, I didn't
operating bylaws just brings you down to that
It just-
article.
Right, agreed with
Oh.
Melanie.
Yeah. So when it brings you down to that article, then you click on it right there and it should have opened it up.
Okay, let's,
So like where it says number, what are we on? Number 6, operating bylaws.
oh,
When you
okay.
get to that section, when you click on that, that's the supporting documentation. The one
Oh,
at, what you guys
got
are
it.
clicking on the first section brings you to the section. And then once you get to the section, I tried to explain it in an email. I guess I didn't do a great job at it,
No,
but
that's okay, Mike. My
I
bad.
tried to cut down on paper and documents being sent because there was a lot during this meeting. So
Yeah.
they
So
are
none of us
attached.
read that.
Yeah, is this
Yeah.
something that maybe we could look at, seeing that none of
Maybe we
us
could
or most of
table
us
it
didn't
tonight.
see it and put it on the next agenda?
Mike, do you mind if we table it to the next meeting?
That's fine with me.
Everybody in
I'd rather you
agreement?
guys see them prior
Yeah.
to.
Yeah,
Everybody's good with that?
yes.
I'd entertain a motion to table this item to the next agenda, next meeting agenda. Do we have discussion on this? Sure, yes, sir.
Sure. So these are the current bylaws by which Rutland Regional operated under?
No, we don't.
So you have all new
New
bylaws?
bylaws for the
Okay,
district.
and what is the what if you need to amend the bylaw? What's the process?
That would be the board amending them.
The board
Yes,
takes the vote? and-
Yep.
So, okay,
yep, it's all up to you guys.
Yeah.
Yep.
that's all.
Okay.
I just wanted to know, you know what I mean? Because I know if you, I mean, I'm being a select board member, you gotta go through the town.
Yeah.
So where it's controlled by the board.
Yep.
Very easy.
Yes, yeah. Very easy to change it.
Well, hope.
Yeah.
If it's an issue.
Thanks, Peter.
Yeah.
So I take a motion to table this to the next meeting agenda so people have the opportunity to review them.
So moved.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? No. Okay, next item on the agenda is Executive Director Authority and Responsibility, SOP. The policy outlines the Executive Director's authority over day-to-day operations, personnel, procurement, emergency, decision-making while clearly defining which actions require board approval. It provides transparency, accountability aligned with the national public safety accreditation standards. Mike, if you want to put the students.
Yeah, so I believe it was either last meeting or the meeting before, the board asked me to produce some kind of SOP to define my authority and roles as the executive director, so that I did not have to contact the board for every little problem or issue that was going on within the district, and to give myself some authority to make those decisions on my side, but also to bring those, if I were to make an executive decision, to bring those to the board at the next meeting to just clarify and make the board aware of what happened. So that's ultimately what this was. And not sure if you guys saw it, because that's also part of one of those links. So,
Yeah.
I did not know.
so it seems like a lot of the documents you guys did not see.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mike.
Mike, would you mind if we tabled this one till the next meeting
It
as
looks
well?
like we're gonna have to table the next few.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because, yeah,
Let's go through them, just to see which ones
Yeah.
maybe
7, 8, and 9, you're gonna have to table.
7, what's that?
You're gonna have to, agenda items 7, 8, and 9
7, 8, and 9. Okay,
will all have to be tabled,
okay,
because that's all documents that were supposed to be reviewed.
okay, all right.
Okay, so it's
Um,
ultimately 6 through 9, correct? Because of the operating
Yes.
bylaws.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep,
Sorry, Mike.
Yeah,
that's all right. That's okay.
So you try to be efficient and you throw us all off, so.
I did, I had those nice printed booklets at the last meeting, and you guys didn't like paper, so I went electronic, and I
well,
tried.
now we know, so sorry.
That's okay. We'll work through this.
No, we do appreciate it. Now that I know, it's like, oh my gosh, yes, this is nice, but.
The only,
So, could we take a motion to table,
can, through the chair, can I make just a suggestion?
Yeah.
Due to the importance of agenda item number 8 and 9,
8 and 9, okay?
can a motion or a suggestion be to, if the board and legal counsel has no issues with those two documents, can we
Okay.
move forward on those? Because one of them is actually the IMA for Conditional Membership Administration.
Uh-huh.
That's very important due to the fact we have 5 communities right now already.
Well, why don't we go through them and maybe you can just,
Okay.
Educate us all on those
Yep.
topics. But maybe we can just move on number 7,
Table.
tabling
Yep.
number 7. If there's no objection, table up number 7. Okay, I'd entertain a motion to table it. All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. All opposed, none. Okay, number 8 is a intermunicipal agreement between the town of Rutland and the Central Mass Regional 9/11 District. Mike, you want to take us through it?
Yep, so this is the IMA that will be ultimately between the district and the town of Rutland to continue to utilize the town of Rutland's financial department, encompassing payroll, banking, treasurer functions, and employee administration and benefits. That's ultimately what we're talking about right here is this IMA would just keep that moving forward, because if we transferred all our employees to the district right now, we have nothing set up. We have no payroll, we don't have benefits, we don't have any of that set up right now. So this is just an IMA to keep the district moving forward until July 1 of 2026, at which point we should have everything set up and ready to move forward under the district.
Mike,
So
is this
just-
basically what we've been doing with them already?
Correct, this is just
Okay.
formalizing it and getting documents signed,
Okay,
not changing anything, it's just keeping it moving. The board will still direct on the district on where it goes, but Rutland will just provide those services for the
And Mike,
district.
we've discussed this in prior meetings, so most of us are
Correct.
aware that this was the direction that we were going. This is just the legality of it.
Correct, yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So the only question I have is, so it's still running under the banner of, like you said, the town of Rutland. So that when would this IMA be signed?
This immediately, because we're technically,
So you're separating from the town of Rutland to Central Mass Regional 911 District, the financial. Is the town of Rutland going to be compensated by CMRECC?
I don't think that was ever discussed, but I think there's some indirect costs in my current budget that
Because
ultimately pay for what Rutland already does right now. So under Rutland Regional, there's an indirect cost in the operating budget that pays for these services already.
Okay.
So ultimately, they're still being paid for it. This is
Okay.
just the legality of keeping everything under them until we can transfer off of.
Okay, yeah, I just didn't know if it was,
It's not in a
totally separated, and you gotta have, get paid.
No, I think this is just gonna codify the agreement until July 1 of 2026.
It'll get to that point. where
Get to that,
Really
right,
separate.
Yep.
right.
Yep.
I ask a lot of questions.
No, that's good, that's good. That's what we're here.
That's, he knows.
Yeah.
I ask a lot of questions.
It's perfect.
I'm comfortable proceeding. I don't know about the rest of the board, just because I know that this had been discussed and we knew that this was the direction we were going in.
no, I'm fine with it too.
So I don't have a problem with it either.
So through the chair, just the motion was set up to have already legal counsel acceptance on it, but we haven't had legal acceptance on it. I have to call him after this meeting. I did get an email this morning, so I would just maybe modify the motion to possibly state
Okay, with the
approval
approval
of,
of legal counsel.
Yeah.
Everybody okay with that?
Yeah,
Yes.
I'd entertain a motion to approve and authorize the executive director of the intermunicipal agreement between the Central Massachusetts Regional 9/11 District and the town of Rutland as presented, effective upon approval and review by legal counsel, and to authorize the chair and the executive director to sign on behalf of the district.
so moved.
So moved.
Anybody opposed? No, seeing none, all those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Perfect. Item number 9 on the agenda, the IMA for conditional membership admission. Mike, you want to take us through this?
Yep, so this agreement will serve as the official document used by the district when new communities request to join the Central Mass Regional 911 District. It provides a structured process for bringing on new municipalities as conditional members while maintaining operational integrity and protecting current member communities. Under this IMA, a municipality receives governance, participation, and representation as a conditional member, but does not assume operational control until their PSAP is formally decommissioned and transitioned into the district. The IMA will ensure a defined path to full membership, representation on the administrative and operation boards during onboarding, cost sharing for regional preparation and transition expenses, protection of operational control and resources for current members, and is in compliance with the district agreement and Mass General laws. This document becomes the formal mechanism to ensure fairness, transparency, and consistent standards for all communities seeking to enter the Central Mass Regional 911 District.
Thanks, Al. Anybody have any discussion or questions regarding this item?
I'm still looking at it. Mike, did you work with E911 to get this set up?
Nope, this is working with our legal counsel, KP Law. And again, hasn't been formally approved by KP Law yet. So these are the two documents that we're waiting to hear back from today or this morning on their approval process.
Is this the first attempt to pass this, or has the board discussed this prior?
So prior to this, I would probably not do the process correctly. I did state that in an email to the board, that the process of which we were accepting new communities in and kind of modifying the current district agreement with their signatures on it was not the proper procedure. So this is ultimately replacing what we were already doing with a formal and legal way of accepting communities in a proper way. So this is the first time this document's being presented to the board today, just to formalize that and keep the board and district protected.
And once again, the board can amend this as needed?
Correct.
Okay.
Any other members have any comments, questions, or concerns?
The only question I have is in number 4. It says the district, no operational authority shall transfer until the district certifies completion of all migration requirements, at which point the municipality will become a full member community under the district agreement. That to me reads that as soon as they've met all the requirements, that's it. There's not going to be there won't be like any discussion, any full go to the board to say, yep, notification of the board members to say, yep, they met everything. We're going to have them come in.
So
Am I reading
ultimately,
that correctly?
yeah, so ultimately the IMA is going to be, I'll bring to these meetings that I've been going to for them, for their boards to vote yes to move forward with regionalization. So the first step would be them signing that document and then me bringing that document to the board of directors to accept. So ultimately in our district agreement, the board has to vote to accept these communities in. So that IMA would be brought here for you guys to accept them in, the final acceptance in. But yeah, they would not get their seat until their PSAP is decommissioned and we take over their services, which will be some time before that happens with any of these communities. And I think what else the IMA does state is that they would have a seat on the board of directors for any future, like regarding the facility or any future operations, they'll have a seat at the board to be able to vote on that. But current operations on how we operate right now in the current budget, they will not have any vote at that table or any
Okay.
and seat at the table for operations as well on the operations board. It's only for future discussions and plans with the district moving forward, once they're accepted in. Does that explain? I hope.
Yep, it does. And I'm fine with it as long as legal counsel approves it. And you said we can amend it too if we need to, right?
Yeah, the board can amend that, yes.
Okay.
Any other questions or concerns, comments? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve the intermunicipal agreement for conditional membership admission and to authorize the executive director to use this agreement as the official onboarding document for communities seeking to join the Central Mass Regional 911 district, and to have legal counsel review said document before it's finalized.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed?
None.
Next item on the agenda is district facility and member community update. Mike?
So since our last meeting, I believe I sent out an email to the board regarding our progress with the Auburn facility. We haven't gained any traction with the seller there. We have approached them with multiple offers with no success. Have always had a backup facility on our radar during this process, and keeping it on the side just in case the Auburn facility was to fail. So we have shifted gears a little bit and have started talking to the seller with the Charlton property, who is been very helpful and is willing to work with the district, is willing to hold the property until July of 2026 for the district. He understands the entire process that the district has to go through with the development grant, and that it's a competitive grant that the district has to apply for the bond assessment that ultimately the state now want to be paying for after the district were to bond the building, and that's what the state would pay for. So he's very willing to work with us. We did an initial floor plan of what myself and the deputy and other members are looking for with the new facility, and should have some initial designs back hopefully by next week from the seller. And it'll be a turnkey purchase. So what that means is the purchase of the building, and he's willing to do all construction. I guess the seller is also a contractor as well and has engineers under his company. So he's willing to do all construction modifications to the building to make it a turnkey solution. So when we're ready to purchase, it's move-in ready, ready for our needs. That's regarding the property. Before I get into the other communities, I'll entertain any questions that anybody may have regarding that.
Has the board gone to visit any of these properties?
So initially, the board has gone to visit the Auburn facility. I believe Jim was in attendance for that one. I don't think any other board member made it to that, but a lot of the operations people have, and our new communities that have signed on have also saw that property. Charlton is very new. I haven't set up any walkthroughs yet for that, which will be.
Do you have a locale in Charlton?
Say that again.
A location? of
Yes,
the
it's
facility?
Trolley Crossing Road.
Charlie Crossing?
Trolley.
Oh, Trolley.
Yeah, sorry. The exact number I don't know off the top of my head. It is if you look on a map, it's the old St. V's facility that they used to have there. It's about 16,000 square feet, and it's like a U-shaped building.
In relation to 20,
Uh,
whereabouts?
1 minute off of Route 20. It's real close.
Yeah.
And the distance between that one and the Auburn facility is about, I think, 3 miles. So they're kind of relatively close to each other. Yeah, same area. Didn't really change much. It is up on a hill. So both properties do suit our needs as we look forward with operations and what we're looking for that we're going to need in the future.
Mhm.
Both buildings suit our needs. It's the seller is willing to work with us and work through all the
Mhm.
hurdles here that we have to go through with the state 911 department to make this happen. So we haven't dismiss the Auburn facility. We'll still continue to continue our efforts with that seller, but as of right now, we haven't made any traction with that seller.
And it's gonna be 9 trolleys.
9 Charlotte Crossing,
Yep.
Trolley Crossing. Yeah, Charlotte. So in comparison to the Auburn building, what is the square footage of the Auburn building?
I think that one was 18,000, so
So
it's-
right around the same.
Yes,
So it's
yeah.
10,000 less.
This one actually gives us, like we have more of a say in where things will go. The Auburn one was very much moving ready, so things had to be, right, you know, there was not much you could do to move stuff around. There's more room, we think, for future growth in the Charlton building.
and then-
As an expansion or as in
As-
growth within the building?
Within the building
Okay.
currently.
Okay.
And for expansion wise, there's plenty of land to expand off the back of the building if we need to grow this even further in the future, if that's a
Yes,
possibility.
forward thinking.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. There's plenty of land towards the back before it hits the Mass Pike.
So Mike, what was what's the stumbling block with the Auburn site?
That's what we can't get from them. So we've gone in over asking to ultimately, the reason why we went over asking was to ultimately this company is out of there, I believe, mid-month this
Yeah.
month, for them to hold it for 6 months.
Yeah.
Without selling, without a surety that we were gonna get the money. So we went in 800 over. They didn't accept it. And then we went back to them, the person, the middleman that we were utilizing, went back to them and said, what is the magic number? Just tell us what the number is for you to hold it and we'll hold it. They're like, nope, just keep on coming back.
Yeah.
And we're like,
You know, I think, you know, the real estate market in general, some aspects of it is hot and some aspects is not hot. I don't see commercial real estate at this point being in the real hot market as much as, you know, residential is. And I still think a lot of the real estate market is kind of leveling off a little bit. It's not as hot as it was maybe a year or two ago. And I think there's more inventory coming on. And I especially think that on the commercial side of things, that there is inventory available because of a lot of companies that have decided to do remote work and people not going to the office and so on and so forth. So I think that, you know, the offer, me personally, of $800,000 higher is, you know, I don't necessarily agree with that. But I mean, that's my personal opinion, but, you know, I think that was more than fair, for the district. And so, you know, I think that they're gonna have you know, from me looking at it and going, through the tour, that's a lot of space, 18,000 square feet. And unless they're, you know, they have some big company that's gonna come in, and I think that will still be an option come, July 1. And I wouldn't, you know, do anything more to, you know, persuade them any other way.
right.
I think the district has been more than fair with them. And so, you know, I think that, you know, looking at other options, I think we have the ability, you know, to be a little bit more bullish, because, you know, we're gonna be, you know, offering a good number on a building somewhere.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is not Boston.
Right.
This is not Boston.
Yep.
This is not Worcester. So, you know, real estate is, you know, in the commercial side of things, in this area, I don't think is that hot at the moment, but I could be wrong.
I agree.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think there's a lot of office type space out there available.
Mhm.
You know, a lot of them probably aren't looking to sell, but some are. I mean, if you went 800 over, this guy's not budgeted, you got another guy that's willing to hold something till July, I mean,
No brainer.
I'd be like, see you later.
And yeah, and, you
You
know,
had the chance.
Yep.
That 800's now negotiable,
Right.
Right.
because they're not
exactly.
put us to stand anymore.
Yep,
If they come back to you,
right,
hey, you know, because they might be working on a lease deal or whatever, and in the background, I'm not gonna tell you that.
right, right. Yep,
We, I think, are a little bit, we were really excited about the Auburn one, but I think seeing the Charlton one, it's really hard for me to picture because it's a bunch of like doctors, like patient rooms right now.
So,
But I think it can be how we want it to be. I'm more excited about the Charlton one. And our current dispatchers, for some reason, me included, but them too, feel like the Charlton one's closer. It's not. It's a minute further away, but they all are more comfortable with the idea of going to Charlton, which I think is nice given all the changes coming. So
and then it's a direct on 56 right into.
Yep.
And you go either way on 20, you need to, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? So.
Any other comments on this?
no hands up.
No,
Go ahead.
I just wanted to, I share sentiments with the board members, what you guys have said all along, referring to Jim's comment. I think that, Mike, you've been more than accommodating in the board giving forward with the Auburn location. And I also, wouldn't really keep investing the energy and time to overly, if this is, it seems like it's kind of like a game at this point, a standstill, and no progression has been made all these months. So, I think that we're in a good position that there's another location that has all the needs that the facility would require, and hopefully that one can get squared away.
Perfect.
Just one final comment on the Charlton one.
Yep.
If it sounds to me like there would be a need for a build out there, some type of, retrofitting.
Oh, yes, yes.
Just make sure that we're complying with 30B and how that would work. I know you mentioned that the owner would do the work. Well, that technically doesn't fly under 30B with prevailing wage and all of those requirements. So we just have to make sure how to sort that out.
Yep, and I have spoken to our procurement officer in Rutland, where we're just procuring the building. We're not procuring any of the construction.
But once we get involved and say, well, we want this office here, and we want this there, and we want this there, if we're leading that discussion, then it becomes a public building a conversation,
Well,
construction.
So with the RFP for the building, it's gonna state this is what we're looking for. It needs to have this, 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 and this.
Right.
So he's going off the RFP. We're not leading or guiding him. So the RFP is ultimately, he's willing to go off the RFP on
Okay.
how it's gonna be. So talking to our procurement officer, there was no ramifications the way that we're going to pursue.
All right, and just check with council on
Yep.
that as well.
Definitely.
Because, once, if we're telling somebody, there's one thing to say that we need, 10,000 square feet, and that's it. But when we start getting specific and saying, this is how we want it to be wired, and this is where we want the offices to be, it almost looks like a public construction project.
Yeah.
And that, it would require,
Right. Yes.
procurement.
Yep. So I'll double check that and bring that back to the board.
All right, very
So
good, thanks,
Mike,
Mike.
Mike, is the intention to purchase the building and then do another bid for procurement for construction of it, to do two different?
No, so the construction is kind of in the background with the seller. The seller would do the construction to the building and make his
Yeah,
building.
check. I'm in agreement. You should talk to town council. Talk to council and just make sure, because that doesn't sound kosher to me either.
Yep. I
Okay,
have that on my checklist. Yep.
okay.
Any other discussion on
So I can just continue with the update.
that? Okay.
Yeah, so, so now moving forward with communities. So as of November 4th, Tuesday night, Oxford, I attended Oxford's Board of Selectmen meeting. And they unanimously passed on joining the Central Mass District, bringing our total count to 5 communities, being Spencer, Charlton, Sturbridge, Auburn, and Oxford. We do have the town of Sutton going to their Board of Selectmen on the 18th of November to vote on joining the Central Mass Regional District. As of right now, just talking with their chiefs and their town administrator, it looks like it'll push forward as well. But again, it has to go through the Board of Selectmen and anything could happen at that meeting. So we're hopeful that it'll get pushed through. And then myself and Deputy DeFosse have had some initial discussions with the town of Northbridge and Millbury. As of, I believe, last week, we had those initial discussions. We have a few more meetings to meet with them, provide them with final figures and other operational discussions that we have to have with them. So those are two other communities that could be in the pipeline down the line. And I don't know if any of the board members have seen any of the Facebook groups or any discussions that they've seen about Southbridge. So Southbridge brought it to their board. It failed at that board against the wishes of both police and fire chief, both police and fire unions, and the mayor, I believe, was also for it as well. So the city council voted it down against all their recommendations. I don't think Southbridge is totally out of the game at the moment, but I think they have some more work to do with their city council on trying to persuade them to go in this route.
So what was the stumbling block in Southbridge?
They just don't want to give up their center. They think some of the comments that I've heard from some people are that they think they can do it bigger and better. But I don't know how they're going to do that with no communities around them to do that with. Ultimately, we have all the communities that surround Southbridge, and I think Westcom makes up all the other ones that are on the west side of Southbridge. Ultimately, you have two large centers on both sides of you, kind of expanding. And I don't think the state will allow them to regionalize themselves now. They may be able to continue with their own center, but ultimately, I didn't attend that meeting. I did not attend that meeting, so I don't know the exact reasonings. Those are just some of the things that
Was
I've
it
heard
a
from
close
some
vote?
chiefs. I think it was it 6-2, I believe.
Do you think that if it was to be brought up on a future agenda, maybe one of the board members can go out there and do some testimonials and do some education out there?
It's a possibility. They elected not to have myself and the state 911 official not there for that meeting.
Why, it's a public meeting.
Right. They just didn't want us there. But the fire chief is one of the leaders of this entire group who is trying to regionalize the 5 with us. So he is very knowledgeable and is one of the big pushers and has made some of the other communities join on with us as well with his education behind the entire project. And he's very well versed. So having him there, I think having a board member there, I don't think it's going to change much.
Okay.
I don't think at the moment.
Yeah.
I think the fire chief and the police chief and their town mayor has some work to do with their city council.
We have a mayor there.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. Yep. So I think they have some work to do with their city council and try to educate them a little bit more.
And that's Southbridge?
Yes. Yep.
I thought they had a town manager
Nope.
for the mayor.
Yeah. Yep. City council. So city government. So we'll revisit them in the
Who's the
future.
mayor?
What's that?
Who is the mayor?
I don't know his last name off the top of my head. I can get that to
Another proposition.
Liz is on it.
you. Liz is looking.
Google Queen.
They're a busy area.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of these communities that we're looking at are a lot busier.
That Southbridge,
Auburn is,
Royal Albany's got a lot more people.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, for the
Charlton is busy.
population in Southbridge, I
Oh,
think
yeah.
you gotta see there's a little more, and I'm not gonna go any further, there's a little more action going on.
oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep. And then also we are starting discussions with Douglas as well. I think
Douglas.
they're coming out to us, I believe, next week or actually 2 weeks from now, they're coming out to
Oh, good.
meet with us. So that could bring the total count to 15 to 16 by the end of this whole process and moving forward. And it'll just align us to further move forward and receive additional grant funding from the state. That puts us into a different tier.
So the more communities we get, the more grant money we'll get.
Correct. So right now we're in one tier of the grant funding. And I believe once you hit 10, puts you into another tier. And then I think there's another tier after that. So I don't know if it's 15 or if it's 20, you get into another tier where the percentage of funding drastically changes. So
Okay.
just bringing on 10 definitely puts us into that tier. So some of the figures that were originally proposed to the board and the communities that were onboarded, those figures could change in the future as well due to the increase.
So
of
we're at 10 now.
10 now, yes. Yeah. 10 confirmed now.
Through the chair, if I may, with the 5 communities that you stated that have voted yes, our board has to vote to allow them in, correct?
Correct.
And when would that be? Or, what's the anticipation on that?
Yep. So as soon as we can get the IMA that we spoke about a couple
Yep.
agenda items prior to, once we can
Yep.
get that approved, sent out to those communities, then we hold the next meeting and formally accept them in. I think accepting them in is not going to hurt. It's going to further assist the district moving forward with the future plans with the new facility, staffing and all that. It's just going to help. There's more resources at that point. Just having that IMA clearly define what their role is moving forward is what we need in there right now. And then move forward.
Okay, and then you mentioned staffing. I know obviously all these communities have their own staff. Has there been any further thought on the process of how that will be in regards to the original staff that we currently have, along with potential openings for all these other towns? I mean, there probably won't be a spot for every single individual in each of these communities. So they're aware of, not maybe all their employees will be brought forward.
Yep. So every community that we have met with, we didn't promise. There was no promises given to any of these communities that all their staff would be brought over. Where we do have a formal process set up for employment, so they'll have to go through the employment process that we have, go through that entire process, and then be selected for any of those open positions. Where we don't have like a first come, like Spencer, you signed on, so you're going to get first right to all the open positions. We don't have that in place, so we're just going to open it up to all the communities and just go from the entire pool, pick the best qualified candidates moving forward, and that's ultimately going to decide who's going to get a position and who doesn't. The core group that we have.
Sorry, Mike, I shouldn't have cut you off, but does that exclude the core group? The core group moves along?
Yes, the core group is part of the district already, so they're already part of that entire count that we need. So excluding them, these individuals will have to apply and move forward.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, no problem.
And that says that in the IMA,
Uh,
that they're not automatically bringing bodies.
Right.
If the town joins their dispatches, if they have their own system,
Yep.
they're not guaranteed a spot.
Correct.
It's just an open, you apply if you.
Right, if we have the spots, yeah.
Yeah.
Because like some of these communities, maybe like Douglas, we may not have any positions, period, by the time we get through what we're doing right now. There may not be any position, so ultimately you're signing on, yeah, ultimately, yeah. So myself and Deputy DeFosse, once Sutton is completed their vote, we're actually going to go out to each of the 6 communities that are onboarded and do a thorough analysis of their departments, obtaining real figures from their police and fire department on incidents that they respond to, and then fine tune the actual number of employees that we're going to need for the district moving forward, utilizing the APCO retains formula that they have that ultimately tells us how many dispatchers we're going to need. And that formula is based off of national standards.
Excellent, thank you.
No problem. And that concludes my update on the community center building.
Thanks, Mike.
Yep.
Next item on the agenda is collective bargaining, team selection and bargaining dates. Mike, you want to take us through this?
Yeah, so the Rutland Regional Dispatchers Union has approached the board requesting to negotiate a new contract with the district. Their current collective bargaining agreement expires June 30th of 26, which IMA keeps that contract in place until then. So what they're doing now is negotiating a new contract with the district, removing it from the town of Rutland. So that's what we're looking for. They're looking for dates to start.
Hello? Melanie, are they frozen on your screen?
They're frozen on my screen, yes. It's just you and I.
That's it, that's it. Oh, gosh. Hopefully it'll come back.
Yeah, just so you're aware, I was gonna like intervene here in a minute. I have to hop off at 10:20 because I have an interview at 10:30.
Oh, fun. Well, if they
yeah.
come back and you're gone, I'll let them know.
Yeah. Just we need a new VSO, so he's
Yeah.
coming at 10:30 today
Ah,
for
well,
interview.
good luck. Hopefully
Yeah.
it'll be a good one. Yeah, I can't wait for the discussion on the positions. Like I said, I'm not opposed to a treasurer being internal. My major concern is if they work already, let's say, like for in Oakham, we have limited, but like, right, maybe Barry or Hubbardston, if they already work 32, 40 hours a week, then what are the needs for the district? Will that
Yeah.
be obtainable, right? Without crossing paths of, hey, because I work in Barry or one of the districts that's in there, can I do a little work while I'm there? Do you know? So I feel like those lines can be blurred if they're working full time in one town, and then what if we need them for the district for 24 hours or even more?
Yeah,
You know?
and I know it does. So it will occasionally, because like Athol, they have their treasure collector as the Oh, are they back?
Oh,
We
they
we
might
could
be
talk
back.
about this
Yes,
later.
yes. Oh, there
Sorry.
you are. Hello.
That's okay. I was just telling Maribel I have to hop off at 10:20 because I have a 10:30 interview coming in. So I only have about 10 more minutes left. So I don't know what kind of votes we need to take on things.
Yeah, I think this union one is the last one that requires any
Okay.
votes.
So if I could, on the collective bargaining, I did mention, I did get this letter from their counsel from the current CBA lawyer looking to bargain with the group. I just went through this in Warren. I settled the police contract. It took me about 4 or 5 months, but I settled it with the select board. And I didn't bring in legal counsel to the very end to review the document. And the reason why I did that is because it saved the town money. Lawyers are good, but they're all about billable hours. And, once we have a somewhat of a shell agreement, it's easy for the town to just give them the document of what we have and say, hey, look, now, integrate this into the legality of a contract, and that's all you're paying for. If the board feels as though that they want to, have legal counsel every step of the way, they can certainly do so. I would recommend that we put a small, group of people together as a subcommittee, and we go through it and we hammer out the details and then give it to legal counsel for their review. That has worked. I'm in a negotiation with the Quaboag Regional School District with the teachers, and we've been doing this for over a year. negotiating, and, the billable hours are, to me, exorbitant. I wouldn't have gone that approach, but, the committee chose a different approach. And the committee can choose whatever they would like, this approach as well, but that's my 2 cents, and that's my, recommendation. Take it for what it's worth. Any discussion on this?
When is the current contract?
Current
June
contract, June
30th.
30th.
June
26th.
30th.
Yeah, at the same time that the district needs
So they're just looking for
to start their new
starting,
with
starting
the
to
district.
negotiate.
Yeah.
Negotiate.
Yeah.
Well, we're not officially a district yet.
Well, we are a district.
Well, we are under the old, well,
Under Mass General Law, we are a district, just our financial aspects are being provided by the town of Rutland.
So the fear I think that the current union has is they are answering the phone Central Mass Regional, right? But their current contract says Rutland Regional. So they're trying to secure a new agreement, since theirs is coming up, before all these other towns come in. Because right now, there's nothing outlined to say, our current dispatchers, do they have seniority over these new people that have to interview and be hired? There's nothing that says that until a new contract is in place. So if they have something in writing that says they are currently Central Mass Regional, union members, it's gonna relieve a lot of the fears that they have moving forward.
seniority as in hiring and firing, is that what they're concerned with? Or time off, days off, vacation?
Right now, seniority really just matters for shift bids. So
Shift.
they shift bid based on seniority.
Shifting days off, obviously, right?
Yeah, and the shift bidding part of it is like the most important to a dispatcher is being able to select what shift they're going to work.
Oh, I hear you. I went through it for a minute.
Yeah, yeah,
As a prison worker.
yeah,
Prison
Yeah,
officer.
Mr. Director, one thing that, I would recommend is that, we pick up, we create a small group of negotiators. We form that committee, a subcommittee off of the big committee. It doesn't work if you have, 7 to 8 members on this negotiating committee. I find it not to be effective. If you have a 2 or 3 member subcommittee that reports back to the full committee, I think that's more effective. In terms of setting up a date, we should respond to their council as soon as possible with a date. But also in our response, it should say, what are your on the record proposals, so that we can make the first meeting a productive meeting.
yes.
And so, we can set out a date well in advance, say, by this date, we'll have our first meeting, but we want your on the record proposals a week before, so that we can make it a productive meeting.
Yeah, maybe we can do ground rules through email and not as part of that first meeting.
Right, I mean,
Because that's usually what it is, and that's a waste of a meeting.
yeah,
To
I
just-
mean, we want to know, obviously, what they want to put in writing, what they're looking for.
Yep.
And then obviously we can, maybe the subcommittee could meet, either an executive session or something to talk about, what our goals, what we're looking for.
Definitely.
You want to make sure it's a balanced negotiation where it's not just them requesting stuff. We're going to request stuff too. And that could be a discussion that we have with you, Mike, and Liz. What are some of your goals and objectives that you're looking to achieve here?
And we do have those already drafted up, so.
Would it be helpful if you don't already have a copy of their current contract? Because I believe they're gonna try to just use that as the base for. a
Okay.
new one.
Yeah.
So I think understanding what's already in it, because I don't think they're gonna, obviously we go to the table to negotiate, but I think they're gonna basically start with that, hoping that kind of turns into the new.
We can send that out to
Yeah,
everybody for their
Yeah.
review. Right.
Things like me, I was gonna say, all the town administrators have a copy of the current contract. That will be very important.
Yep. Um, So just with that first motion, Chairman, I would just, I left out, I just noticed I left out, if, however it's gonna be made up of, I would just, suggest that myself and Deputy DeFosse be part of that, subcommittee if
Mhm.
possible.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Both of yous or one?
Yeah, both of us.
I've never done it before, so I
Are
kind
you,
of
are
just,
you not in union bargaining?
this will be my first
Oh.
time, so I just,
So
you
I
know,
want to give
kind
her
of
that
want to
experience
see.
as well.
I was a chief steward, and
Yeah, she's seen it from the other side.
it's
but
a
not
great
this side.
process, but it works.
Yeah,
And then when it breaks down, it's terrible.
yeah.
So however you guys want to make it up, if.
Yeah,
if
so it's, I noticed you had, Nate on here is too. Is he gonna be, in the future with us?
I can't speak to that.
What's that?
Is Nate gonna be here in the future? We just know he's not here.
Yeah, he's just on a
Yeah,
couple of weeks off.
just a couple weeks
but,
off.
Okay.
So.
Should
however
you,
guys
should you
want-
change that language just to the chair of the board?
Yeah, we can just get rid of names and just say chair. and
Chair,
vice chair.
okay.
I think that'd be the best, yeah.
Okay.
And is everybody okay with the chair and vice chair and then myself and the deputy being part of that subcommittee, or does anybody else want to
The only
participate?
thing I would just chime in is that I think it should be an odd number in case there, well, does
I
that
would
matter
agree.
for, yeah, right, an odd number? But
Yes, Maribel, yes, Maribel. Maybe, Liz, I'm sorry, but would you be opposed to being a non-voting member, like an ex officio?
Yeah, that's,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
fine. I mean,
Yeah.
I've never done it before,
Yeah.
so we kind of were
Yeah.
just gonna put together what we felt needed to change in the contract anyway.
Yeah, as long as she's there to be able to
Yeah.
participate
yeah.
and the vote could just be
Yeah,
myself
Yeah,
and whoever else.
Mike be the vote.
Yep.
Yeah, that's.
And then the
totally-
chair and then the vice
Yeah.
chair and
Yep,
if that's okay with it, there's your three, there's your.
I'm fine with that. And then, like you said, it's gonna shrink that number of people that are gonna be at the table and hopefully
Right.
make this move forward and not
can Liz
stall.
be, well, a non-voting or maybe like an alternate if Mike, I mean, you're usually there, but just in case, you know,
Yeah, I would say
something
so.
happened that where you're not there, Liz can jump in.
Yeah, and I think that's ultimately in my job description, her job description too. is
Okay.
When I'm
Perfect.
not available, she steps in as the acting.
So maybe just the two of us is just one vote.
Right.
Okay.
Well,
And-
Right, yeah, yeah.
And so you're both obviously previously dispatchers at one time, and you have no
Wow.
issues, well, separating from the
I've been-
dispatch side to the management side?
I've been on this side for 9 years now,
Okay, but,
negotiating contracts. I've
Yeah.
negotiated 3 now on
okay,
the management side of it, so
yeah,
I am,
because it's kind of a,
it's different.
It is, it's
Thing.
different.
you know
Yeah.
what
I
I
was
mean?
on that
Get
side
out of
and
that
on this side,
mindset.
so yes, I have.
So as long as you're
Yep.
ability to, you know, maybe work with all these guys, now you're on the management side, it's like, it's a slippery slope, right?
Yeah, that's
That's all.
why I'm just viewing this.
Yeah, yeah, it's a great run.
I've done this multiple times.
Yeah, no, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause you're doing it.
Yeah.
So I have 1 minute left. I don't know if you all are ready to vote on any of this yet.
I'll go through those.
Yeah.
First motion
Yeah,
at least.
let's do it. So, I'd entertain a motion to appoint the chair, the vice chair, executive director,
And maybe not.
and I would take out, we leave labor council at the moment.
Yep.
For the team to negotiate a collective bargaining agreement with Mass COP Local 435 with the chair serving as lead spokesperson.
So moved.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Any opposed?
No, I'm with the eyes.
Oh,
I'm not opposed. I'm not opposed.
Okay, all right, okay, let the record reflect that.
I was thinking,
Okay.
A motion.
Authorization of council, I'd entertain a motion to authorize the district labor council to represent the district in collective bargaining agreements for local 435 and coordinate with the bargaining team.
Yep.
Subcommittee and the executive director on a successor agreement. With the caveat that they're gonna be brought in when needed and at the end. All those in favor, say aye.
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 All you opposed? No. No.
Okay.
Set the initial bargaining date. Maybe we could, yeah, I mean, I don't think we need a vote on the date. Maybe the subcommittee could, set up a date and time to, send them a letter. And to set up a date and time. I'd like to check with the, chair and see what his availability is. And-
Yep. So does the subcommittee want to put together an email string?
Right.
Figure out dates?
Yeah.
And do you want me to draft a letter?
Yeah.
And send off to the union?
Yeah, we'll have
Union
a,
council?
we'll have a draft put together.
Perfect.
Let the subcommittee review it before it goes out.
Yes, definitely. Yep.
Okay.
So I have one I know we should have probably had questions, before we voted on this, but,
Hello.
Hello.
Megan.
Guys, I've got to go. So sorry.
It's all right.
No worries. Bye, Melanie.
Thank you.
as far as negotiation and compensation and stuff like that, if there's no budget yet, what are you going on? If you're trying to do a new contract for these under the CMRECC that does not have a budget, how do you settle a contract?
Well, I'm in the process of drafting the budget right now.
Okay,
So it'll all be part of that.
so,
It'll be factored into that ultimately. So
okay,
ultimately, by the time the budget is completed, hopefully we'll have better understanding on where the union is and what they're asking for, that so that we can ultimately, if we're going to give whatever we're thinking, we can put that into the budget.
or not.
Or not, yeah.
Okay.
But, yeah, we're in I think the right spot right now where the budget is not set, and we can factor that in as appropriate if we need to.
And I don't think, Mike, that just because the chair and the vice chair are on this negotiating team, you may want to check. I don't think that that's going to be required to post. Because I don't think that there's going to be a quorum
Right.
of the board.
Correct.
Which I think would be more helpful.
Yep.
To try to, resolve this a little bit,
Quicker, yeah.
quicker and to have a little bit more leeway there.
Yep.
But I still think it's important that we, keep the full board,
Yep.
abreast of
Although,
what's
I
going.
don't know, now that I'm thinking about it, do subcommittees, I feel like I'm on the school committee and our subcommittee meetings get posted. So I don't know if there's a difference here, but still following open meeting law, I feel like there's any committee.
There may be if it's a recognized committee by the board. So, Mike, you may want to just check on that.
It could be a working group,
Yeah,
right?
Set
You
up a
can
meeting.
separate it from subcommittee.
Yeah, definitely just check,
working group, yeah,
Yeah.
right.
because
Right.
I'm all for, not having to post it, right? Gives a little bit, it's easier to work and a little bit more, like Jim said, a little leeway, but I just want to make sure that open meeting law is definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just check into that, Mike, for
Yep.
us. If the board officially recognizes it, I think maybe that's where we'll have to do it. If the executive director, if the intent here is the executive, if the chair of the board just says him and he appoints the vice chair, then maybe not.
I'll check into that.
Yeah.
Yep, I got that down. Okay, so we don't need that one.
Okay, next item. Is, executive session. Oh. Well, you're gonna check into that, right,
Yep.
Mike?
Yep, so we'll just hop over. Yep,
And,
that's all. Perfect.
personnel updates, Mike?
Yep. Right. So we want to formally acknowledge that Emily DeFosi has been assigned as the school public safety information specialist with the district. Ultimately, that person is responsible for providing 911 education to all our schools. And Jody McGinnis has been assigned as the senior community public safety information specialist. She's another dispatcher within the district that is responsible for attending all senior centers to provide 911 education to them, as well as other resources that the state 911 department and the state provides to seniors regarding specialized phones that are available for seniors out in the community. So they both have a huge role to fill with providing education out to our communities. So they're available for all events across our 5 communities, soon to be 10 communities. This assignment will obviously grow as we gain more communities to add more people to help support that initiative moving forward. But yeah, we just wanted to formally recognize them with the board that they were both selected. They went through the process that we conducted. Do you want to just explain the process that they went through?
Yeah, it was a while ago, but they basically, everyone that was interested put together a PowerPoint, or 2 PowerPoints to discuss, what they would bring to the table for if they were going to like the school, and then what they would bring to the table for the senior center. There was a panel. I don't remember how many people.
It was like
4.
it was larger than that. It was about like there was quite a few people.
We asked every senior center, like we reached out to everyone to see who wanted to be involved, because they're the experts, right? So we reached out to all towns, all senior centers to see who wanted to come. And then we reached out to the schools to see who wanted to come. So we had some members from the schools because they know, is this going to work for kids? Is it going to work for seniors? And then they were, graded on, their presentations, and Emily had scored the highest for the schools and Jody for the senior center. It's a new role, the senior part. I mean, we've always been available for events, but it's not something that we branched out to. So we're excited about growing that aspect as well as attending the schools. Right now, we kind of piggyback with the fire departments or the police officers when they're going. Not to say we haven't reached out, we have, but it's easier to just get in when they're already attending. So it's an area that we're looking to grow in, and we're excited about it.
Has this always been a function of dispatch?
Yes.
It-
See, because our fire department handles all.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
For the
So,
schools
and
and
that's-
senior center.
yep, and that's why we have been trying to get in right now. Obviously, just being in Rutland in the building, they're the easiest ones. But they reach out to us to attend events. Same with OCAM. We're trying to, and actually Warren has reached out because we recently reached out to Warren. But we've had the fire department go and talk about 911, but they don't know everything that we're doing. So it's easy to go with them, and then when it comes to, hey, 911, then we talk about it. So
So are these items added on to your current work capacity, or is it something you've always done, or you just got a title now that goes with it? Is it compensated with a different title now?
it's just a duty.
It's part of your normal.
Yep,
That's your normal duty. It's just an assignment. There's no additional compensation to.
So it's just normal if you work and you schedule it on a day where you're at work,
Yeah.
obviously.
And if they're off duty, obviously they'll get overtime for it. That's like an overtime shift, but most of our events are an hour, if that.
So if somebody's off duty and want to do one of these and it's a 1 hour slot, they're getting paid for how many hours?
one.
That's it?
Yeah, there's
They
no
don't have a
minimum.
minimum?
No.
Very good.
Yeah, no minimums.
I mean, I think at some point we'd like to see a stipend attached because they put a lot of work into
Oh,
what they do.
listen.
Yeah.
So,
But right now, those positions are just on assignment, nothing attached as of right
Yeah,
now.
it's part of what they do.
Yep.
Excellent.
That's
Great.
that. Um, And then the next one was, and you're gonna hear this name again. So again, we want to formally announce to the board that Emily Bosey was selected as acting communication supervisor with the department. Went through an extensive process with 2 external panels of professionals comprised of directors around central Massachusetts. The first one was the director from Auburn, Holden, and lead supervisor from Charlton as the first initial panel. And then the second panel was comprised of a administrative staff member from the Senmeric Regional Center, as well as the director from South County Worcester Regional as the final panel. She scored high through both processes and was ultimately recommended as our second supervisor that we had an opening for, and fits what our agency was looking for. So we went off the recommendation of that board and off the written exams that they had to do, and had a weighted score, and just feel that she's going to be the best candidate moving forward. So she has been acting in that capacity right now for, I believe, maybe a week or two. Approximately 2 weeks now. So she has a 6-month probationary period with formal performance checkpoints that she'll meet in with us. We do have a process for them. We have additional classes that they will go and attend in the near future. One of them being the APCO supervisors class, and then the other one is the the MMP, Massachusetts Municipal, I can't remember, leadership program. It's through the Collins Center of UMass Boston. So another leadership class that they will attend. And then myself and Deputy DeFosse here will have monthly trainings for both of our supervisors that we'll conduct on different topics moving forward to help guide and move her forward in her position.
Okay. Any questions?
Yeah, so you're currently the deputy director of regional dispatch, and now you're gonna be a super deputy director /
Different person.
Oh, that's the same name?
Her sister works for us as well.
Well,
Yes.
Oh, what a small.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I didn't know that. I thought it was you.
That's why we're not
I thought it was
involved.
her too.
Yeah.
I was calling her Liz. I thought her name is now Emily.
I usually, all right.
Yeah, so we have it structured so that.
Well, that's what I was confused.
I was,
Deputy
yeah,
director going
I
supervisor,
was on the same page.
Liz does not supervise Emily in any capacity.
Alright.
And I did originally, just for the record, sign a disclosure form with the town of Rutland when she was hired that I would have nothing to do with it
Well, we don't
because,
want any nepotism.
exactly,
Exactly.
exactly.
So we
Transparency.
followed proper procedures. So and furthermore, now that she's a supervisor, she'll fall under myself, not under the deputy at this point.
And when you're not president, she'll fall on
The board,
oh, okay.
the board.
No, I meant if she's still deputy director
And ultimately,
and you're still a director,
Well, let's just hope.
but if I'm not here, she can't have any
right,
supervision of her.
of her direct
This could be a conflict.
sibling.
So the
If
board,
anything, I think harder on her. But,
And I hear you,
yeah,
it's usually the way. Right.
and then we have a full-time communications dispatcher appointment. So at our last board meeting, the board authorized us to hire a 11th full-timer with eliminating all our part-time positions. So we went through that entire process. And again, we do an extensive hiring process, background checks, critical. It's a pre-appointment online exam that they take, and it's about 4 to 5 hours long that they have to take, and pretty much test them in multitasking, prioritization, typing, and all those different aspects of the job. So she ultimately came through the entire process and was selected. Her name is Samantha. I'm gonna butcher this.
Mikulskis.
Yeah, I'm gonna butcher that. Mikulskis. So she was selected, and she will start November 11th with us in the training program, and then be sent off, I think, roughly in January to the Massachusetts 911 Public Safety Academy for a month to gain her
Certification.
certifications through the state to be a certified state dispatcher.
I have one question. Do you guys have your own website? Yeah,
We do.
for Central Mass?
Yep.
So, okay.
It's on.
But people can go on and see who your dispatchers are and everything else.
Yes.
I mean, I see a lot on Facebook, a lot of posts on Facebook, but I was just wondering if you have your, how come I don't see it? But do you have a website? It's not on. Shouldn't it be on under value?
Yeah,
It should be down here actually, but it's not. I just noticed that.
we'll put it on.
Yeah, I'll update this.
Yeah, it should have the website. That's good promotion, get
Yeah.
people to
And-
understand what's
People
going on.
can look and see who's
Exactly.
there and, you know, pictures of people doing their job.
We
Yeah.
we plan on
You should
taking,
have everybody's picture there.
we
yeah.
plan on taking new photos too,
Yeah.
because we just got our new uniforms. So if we, everyone says Rutland right now, but that's something that we're gonna do in the near future to get everybody's
Branding.
pictures together. Yeah.
Well, you're trying to promote something to bring outsiders in.
Yep.
You gotta have a brand.
Yep. So we have an extensive website. It has pretty much
If
everything.
there's
but I
any
think-
merch that the board can rock, I'm always here to promote.
Yes.
I
We
like
can
one of those
supply.
Jackets,
Yeah,
yeah.
you like that? We can supply our board with.
Okay, you're part of the Air Force. You just need rank insignia. and all
Yeah,
that.
that's right. Yep. All right, and that's the last part on the personnel updates.
Okay.
So, moving right along, any old business?
So I do have one thing. So prior, I think it was like our first meeting, I believe, we set up a transition plan for this whole process for the district to move to their own entity off of Rutland. I have since updated that plan and have renamed it to the district activation plan. I believe that was part of the board's agenda. And it's very extensive and it breaks it down to, I believe, 6 phases with all different items that have to be completed by either myself, the board, whoever our treasurer is. It kind of spells out the roles for everybody that needs to assist with what needs to be done to transition off of Rutland into the district. With a timeline built in as well. I don't know if I doubt you guys saw that, seeing how
No, I didn't see
we
that.
figured out. So I think we'll just, I have that, I'll send that out and just.
We'll put it on the next meeting.
Next meeting and
Yeah.
have you guys review that as well. And I just wanted to let you know that there is a plan.
Okay,
Specific plan.
That's good. Okay, put that on for the next meeting.
Yep.
Open discussion, public comment, any open discussion, public comment from anybody?
I just want, going back to the union negotiation date, that is just pending the working group.
Yeah.
Appointed by the board, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I just have something that I wanted to bring up, which kind of falls under also next meeting planning. I know that when Mike sent out this last email, it's hard to coordinate, even with just the current 5 towns, a date and time and a location that works for all of us. And trust me, I get that. My concern is as more towns join, that it's going to be even harder, right, to try to get that to happen. So I don't know if it would be wise or something to think about if we can tentatively plan for, let's say, and I'm just picking random, the 3rd Wednesday of every month. That way it's kind of, we know that that's our time. And if Mike or Liz decide we don't need a meeting because, we have nothing to bring forward at this time, we can kind of then acclimate and adjust at that point. I don't know, something to think about, just my senses. That way we can kind of, you know, have it into our schedules and not try to figure out what works best. And again, even with that being said, we're never going to find a date that's going to, or a day of the month that's going to always be perfect for everyone. But I think it just eliminates the back and forth some.
Maribel, I would agree with you on that. And maybe we could have that on our next meeting agenda.
Sure. And, you know, I don't know if there's a poll that Mike can send out, like, once we discuss it, to kind of say, hey, if we were to say, you know, third Wednesday of every month or whatever, you know, give some dates and see what day would work of the week would work best. Like, I know Mondays are tough for me personally. So, you know, trying to scale it to make it as best or as fitting for everyone. But I'm just worried as we grow, it's going to get harder and harder.
Yeah, and it's gonna get tougher and tougher because as these, you know, these other communities and the administrative board, there's a lot of town administrators are on it or select board members, and they all have meetings, right? During the week. So, you know, it's gonna be tough. So maybe, you know, I don't know, maybe it's a Friday morning, you know, where a lot of things don't happen or meet. I don't know, but
Unless it's summertime.
yeah.
It'll go away, so.
Yeah, and I think that even with setting up a date, let's say for the next couple months, obviously this probably will be something that as we grow, we'll have to keep adjusting and, you know, re-putting out there and maybe changing. I just know that with 1,000, just within our 5 current towns, there was you know, tons of emails, and sometimes you lose things. I know my last email I said, or I talked to Mike, I said, can you just tell me what the last one is? Because it's changed so many times that I don't know. Was it this time, I can't do this time. So again, I totally understand that we all have things going on and it's very difficult, but I think it could help possibly.
That's a good idea.
I agree,
I agree.
because that was not fun going back and forth with everyone.
And it's
Yeah,
only
so
5
let's-
communities at this time.
Yeah.
So with Maribel's suggestion, maybe we could, you know, put out a little survey and then take it up at our next meeting with setting a specific date.
Yep, I'll send out a poll.
Thank you.
And once there's a facility too, you'll have, I mean, I'm sure there'll be a conference from there that this
Yes.
board is gonna meet at
Yep.
anyway, so. That everybody driving to 19 different towns, you're gonna have one place to go.
Right.
When that, in the future, when it comes to fruition. Excellent.
Any other comments, concerns? Okay, next,
And I'm sorry, before we move forward, if I may, and was the discussion on the treasurer, is that going to be on a next agenda or a future agenda? In regards to like, once we, you know, I know Nick is currently now and that makes complete sense, but like how we're going to move forward with that. And I just want to kind of really quick, and this will be obviously out for a full discussion with the full board. My concern, again, it's not about the competence of Nick or any of our current treasurers in our communities. I feel like Nick is very competent. My concern more so is the time, right? If Nick being in Rutland, just using him as an example, is 40 hours a week, or I know Barry posted for a treasure collector for 40 hours and Hubbardston is 32. How does that allow room for the treasurer to be our district's treasurer if we, let's say, advertise for 24 hours or 32 hours and see where I would say that where the, you know, is that allowed to be kind of dipping into, well, I work in Barry, so I can kind of do some stuff. I just don't want that gray area those lines to cross.
Yeah, so through the chair. So ultimately, just selecting him right now is a temporary appointment, just for now until July 1. At that point in this district activation plan, there is a spot in there to for the board to select a new treasurer at that point. Currently, we are already utilizing Nick right now for everything that we do. So his time is already factored in. It's not changing. ultimately we changed our name and made a district, but he's still doing all the work that we've,
Oh, no, and right now it
So-
completely makes sense, Mike. I totally
Yeah.
see it. I'm just thinking like July 1st forward when we're not under Rutland's umbrella and we stand alone, even if we hired, let's say, the treasurer from Warren or Hubbardston, it depends how many hours they work in these communities. How would that be? How many hours do we need as the district, and how would that even be feasible? That's I'm not questioning Nick being in this role right now by any means. That makes complete sense. It's just moving forward. How are there enough hours? We don't know how many hours we're going to need as a treasurer for the district. It might only be 5 hours. It might be 20, but if they're full time or pretty close to full time in a community, how does that work?
Right,
Right.
yeah, that's a very good point, Maribel, and maybe we can have some discussion with Nick to see how much time he invests on just this current organization.
Yeah.
And then project it out as we grow, what maybe he would think he would need or whoever is in that position would need to do this. Is it a 5 hour a week now position? And then once we add more people, does it go to 10? Does it go to 12?
Right.
Try to project that out. And then that will also be based upon, what the board would offer, whoever the treasurer may be, as some type of form of compensation for the job, doing the
Yeah.
job.
Agreed. Yeah, I just want to have a full discussion on that and just make it very
Yeah, we
clear.
can have it on an agenda, right?
Yeah.
yeah, we can set that on the next agenda.
Yes.
Well, so I think what will help as well is bring in the district's future operation plan as well, because there is other administrative spots within the district, like the support services chief that we have outlined in there with the job description, who will pretty much be HR, payroll, benefits, and all that. So that'll take away from a lot of the time that Nick is already doing for us. So we'll have an in-house person already pretty much doing that. We'll just need Nick to ultimately do the actual treasurer portion of it.
And do
Nick
we need an
or
accountant?
whoever's is selected at that point. And
Mike, do we need an accountant on that end?
Yeah, we're gonna need that as well, yes.
Okay. Yeah, again, yeah, that'll be, okay.
So I think bringing the entire district operation plan as well to that next agenda item so that
Okay.
the board can see that as well.
Makes sense.
Perfect.
Part of that operation plan is so when you're physically separated from Rutland.
Yep.
Now you gotta go find your own group insurance, all that stuff.
Yep.
And that's all in part of that operation, and I'm sure you dug your eyes and
Oh, yeah, that's all part of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess I just wanted to, whether it's Nick moving forward or any of our current employees in our individual communities, if they were to be hired for any of these roles, I just want it to be, very clear for them and for us, but primarily for them, that these are two different roles, right? Two different employees, and that the lines don't cross because their, TA or their community is part of this
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
district.
If you're hired to do one of these roles, you do it on your own time, not on the
Correct.
town's. Yeah.
Exactly. And that's where I'm, I just want to make sure that those lines don't blur, because it can easily happen.
I agree.
So looking to set a date for the next meeting, looks like. There's quite a few things that you would need to put together, Mike, before the next meeting and give yourself some time. And there's Thanksgiving's in the middle there.
Do we have any, some of the stuff I would like to get finalized sooner than later. So if we can have another meeting in November, that'd be great.
Okay.
Obviously not next week. When day is Thanksgiving on this
27.
27th this year?
27th is Thanksgiving, so the week maybe before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that would be the best for me right now. Maybe, do we want to stick with a Friday? Does that, seems like everybody's schedule's wide open on Fridays, it seems.
Mine is open on the 21st. The 20th, I have a special town meeting, and then the 18th, I have a public auction.
Okay.
So-
Maribel, does 21st work for you?
Yeah, I think it should be fine.
Okay. You want to
So I
just,
think that, Mike, if you send this out, if we just, agree, send it out to the whole community, I mean, the whole board, it gives them a couple weeks notice at least.
yeah, because I'll have most of the documentation out to everybody by Monday next week, so.
Okay,
That needs to be reviewed, so that gives you ultimately 2 weeks to review the documentation before the meeting.
so 9 a.m. again on the 21st, and what location?
Where did we go before this? Where were we at?
We were here in Ocam.
Okay,
I'm
so,
always-
okay,
It doesn't matter. We're
Hubbardston.
available. Hubbardston.
yeah, we can do it.
It's right on the main drive.
Okay.
And there's always who's available.
It's at the new town hall, 48 Garden Road.
Yeah.
Hubbardston.
48 Gardner Road.
Yeah, and it's,
Okay.
you're gonna see a veterinary sign, 'cause we got a veterinary in there. It's the left wing of the building in the back is where the select board room is.
Perfect. Yeah.
And that would be available on Friday for us.
Yeah, I don't see why it wouldn't be.
Okay.
But, you guys gotta figure out your date first before you can.
21st.
21st.
So,
November
21st.
21st.
At 9 a.m.
Yeah, so.
Just for the next meeting.
Yeah, just,
November 20th,
yeah, at 9 a.m.
9 a.m.
What were you gonna say, Maribel?
Oh, no, I was just confirming the time.
Oh, okay, yeah. 9 a.m. still good for you?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
So Hubbardston.
And we can, obviously,
Yeah.
a lot of the
I'll make
items that we
sure
bypassed.
I'll make sure the room is good before
Okay.
you send out your email.
Perfect.
I can call you, write your numbers on here.
Yes.
That's the new card. I had one 2 years ago.
Still, yeah. Still-
Thank
still
you.
says Rutland,
Yeah. All right, Great.
And Mike,
Yeah.
now we know to press the link and then the other link.
Yes, yeah. The first link just gets you to the section.
So I
Second
don't
link
know
gives
if-
you the
I
support
don't know.
documentation.
See, town of House is a part-time town, so,
Yeah,
32-hour weeks there, so Fridays are closed.
okay, yeah, no problem. I'll send the documentation out for everybody to review, but yeah, once you can confirm that, I'll send it over to the board.
Yeah, and like I said, you don't need to send me anything, because I'm not really part
Yeah,
of this. so
I'll send it to
maybe
you.
Someday, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
You never know.
Right.
And hopefully
Thank-
it works well for, hopefully the 21st works for Nate being the host in town. So
Yeah.
fingers crossed on that. But if it didn't,
If it didn't, we can just do it at we can do it at our district offices in Rutland.
Sure.
Just do it there if need be. So,
Okay, if there's no other discussion, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
No? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi,
everybody.
thank you, everyone.
hi, Maribel.
Good weekend.
Appreciate your welcoming.
You too.
to the